Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about the Aquarius personality type. Alright, so if you have Aquarius friends, remember, a real person's personality has every single sign in there. And depending what sign their planets are on, they're going to have a little bit of each sign. So when I'm talking about the personality of Aquarius, I'm not saying all Aquarius people are like this. I'm saying that a pure Aquarius personality would be like this. So, Aquarius is known as the rebel personality of the zodiac. Keywords that we can relate to Aquarius are liberty, originality, unattachment, independence, common good, justice, social righteousness. So Aquarius is known as the most sociable sign of the zodiac. So beginning with the first air sign, Gemini, and then the second air sign, Libra, the third air sign is Aquarius. Air rules communication. So when we first have the first air sign, which is Gemini, we get people who are learning how to communicate and who are having fun with communicating ideas in what could be called shallow, not because they're not meaningful, but rather because they just touch the surface of the idea. But basically, once it's Gemini, the soul has learned that there's other people and they want to communicate their ideas with other people and exchange ideas with other people. Once they get to Libra, they realize that there's a certain way in which things can be said that has a difference in impact. So you can say things nicely or you can say things mean and bluntly, and there's a difference between what you're talking about. There's a difference in the outcome of what you say depending on how you say it. So when Gemini gets to Libra, the communication is not just about exchanging ideas and being funny. It's rather about having a pleasant atmosphere and using the right words to create the right atmosphere. Once it gets to Aquarius, it's just about what is right and what is right socially. So once it gets to Aquarius, it doesn't matter so much whether the words sound nice and whether everyone's happy or not. It's more of, is everyone good in like their basic needs level? Is everyone getting the justice that they require? Because if somebody needs a tough scorn, or somebody needs to be scorned or needs to be guided, Aquarius would do it without using nice words like Libra would. They would just say it bluntly. Being the third air sign, we know that it's reached its maximum level of knowledge, and it's an air, which is the element of knowledge. So we know that when we're dealing with Aquarius, we're dealing with smart people. They can file their thoughts and they can keep their thoughts in an order, and they can get to understand the deeper meaning behind the context, because they can organize the information that's being gathered by their senses and come up with what it means. They're very easily inspired, and they don't stop to think or to see what everybody else is thinking to get their ideas into motion. So they're very, very innovative, and once they get a new idea, it's theirs. They don't care if everybody else is going to think they're right. They usually if they have already chosen an idea as right, they have already put it through what is right and wrong for society and whether the idea should be carried out. So once they decided that they are carrying out this idea, even if their best friends are like, hey, no, stop, they're doing it, and they have like a tunnel vision to get it done. When we say Aquarius, a lot of people think that Aquarius is an water sign, but no, Aquarius is an air sign. And the aqua, the equa, comes from equalitarian, not agua, or water. Equalitarian means equality, and just like Libra, Aquarius represents justice in a deeper level. The subject that we're going to find nearest to the Aquarius heart is the common good. It's society's wellness over the individual wellness. They understand that the major good is necessary for society to be evolving adequately. They are not scared of society, rather they see it from a bird's eye view type of perspective. Like, they see themselves outside of society, and they see society as something that's going on away from them. That's why they can see it and see what they need, because they're looking at it from a separate perspective. So they're not afraid because of that reason. Since they don't belong in the society, or they don't feel like they are a part of the society, they have no problem in telling society when society is being wrong. So they will call out on corruption. They will call out on the big guy stepping on the little guy. They will call out on whatever they think is wrong. And they have such deep love for society that they will really call it out. Like, they want society to be okay. Every level. They have an ability to pick out what's not right for society, and this leads them to be usually discomforted with society. They usually feel like the outsider because they see all the things that are wrong. So they feel like an outsider, and they look for alternative ways of living. So you're usually going to find Aquarius like living away, or maybe like getting away from the cities, or inventing something new for society to work better. So they're either away, living in their self-sustainable house in the middle of nowhere with like a group of friends, or they are working towards the betterment of humankind by developing new technologies, or taking leadership positions where they do have a say in what's going on for the greater good, so they feel that they can actually help people get justice. Whether it's in a company or a community or in their household, they want to be the voice of the underdog and communicate what people need at all levels of life. They are not okay with following rules just because it's the rules. They want to make sure that the rules are there for something, and they'll only follow them if they're just and good for everybody. When Aquarius is vibing low, they would benefit from connecting to their ego. So when they're so lost in like whatever is Aquarius doing to be vibing low, something that would really bring them into balance is remembering who they are and remembering why they're special, which is usually something that Aquarius tends to forget. Like, they don't care about the ego. They really hate the individual. Hate is a strong word, but this is a way of saying it. It's like they would never put the individual above the society. If somebody needs to cry for society to be okay in the long run, somebody's crying, and they don't care. So they really put away their ego. They're like, I don't need to be okay. We need everyone to be okay, and they stop worrying about themselves. They need to remember themselves. So Aquarius needs to remember who they are, and they're just not a person. They need to remember what makes them special. What's that unique gift that Aquarius has, each Aquarius has inside of them, that they need to give back to society in order to feel fulfilled. Because that's the thing. If Aquarius doesn't know who he is or who she is, they can't help the society that they desperately need and have an anchoring inside of them to help. So once Aquarius discovers what it is inside of them that is so special that they were born with in order to help society, because Aquarians are usually born to help either their network of friends, their community, their society, or a huge scale of people. And there's something in their mind that helps them understand people that they can help the groups. So once Aquarius remembers who they are and they nurture their own unique gifts and creative abilities, then they're whole, and then they're balanced, and then they know what they need to do in order to feel well. But they need to remember who they are and put their ego on a pedestal. Like, there's a lot of people nowadays that are like, oh, the ego is bad. He's so egotistical. No, the ego is what makes our personalities unique. So, giving the right amount of love to our egos is very necessary, especially for Aquarians that will put the individual below the needs of the society. They can't help society unless they know who they are. So that's an important one for Aquarius. They're really unattached. Like, unattachment characterizes Aquarius. So original. They really have a lot of new ideas, and they use their innovative ways to understand better the needs of people around them. And this way of understanding the needs of the people around them, it's like telepathic, basically. They just see the group, like, let's say they're in a company, they see all the people who work for the company and they understand the systems of the company, and they're able to intuitively know what needs to be changed in order for the people who work in the systems of the company to work better, and then the company works better. So they do really good in jobs that are about strategy and understanding human behavior. Communication too, obviously. But more like in a back end. So they'll like strategize what needs to be said, but maybe somebody else is going to be there on stage saying it. They just gave that idea from the top and behind. So the way in which they can connect to the needs of society is really meaningful for them to give back to the world, and with giving back to the world, earning their food, their ceiling, their way of taking care of their bodies, their material stability. They're super curious about leadership, and they have a way of communicating that makes them leaders. The way that they speak and the way that they communicate is super assertive, and it's super motivational. Aquarius are really good at motivating their friends, and they know exactly what to say to get their friends going. Not just their friends, like everyone. They know how to prepare a speech that's gonna get a lot of people to do what Aquarius wants them to do. Usually this is a good thing. Usually this will be positive things. The way in that they need nurturing at an emotional level is very pragmatic and stable. Like, if anything is stable for Aquarius, is their home. Like, they really like to travel, they really like to move around, but their home, the place that they call their home, where they come and have their meals and sleep, is very important to them, and they want it to be stable, and they want to keep it secure. So the home place is a very important place for Aquarius. They are so happy when they're with friends, and they actually need to be with friends in order to feel right. Like, they need to be exchanging ideas and having long discussions with their friends in order to feel that they're glowing, and to, you know, that light when you're like, oh, I feel good today, like I feel self-realization. That self-realization they get when they're being there with their friends. So Aquarius people, like, don't tell them not to hang out with their friends, because you're killing their happiness and their joy of life. So like, Aquarius needs to be with friends. And if you have Aquarius friends, you know that they're the friends that are really communicating with you all the time. And that's because they love you. Aquarius love their friends. And it's true love. Like, it's love. It's a huge deal for them. It's like their heart is their friends. And what else? They are very proud of their relationships. they like to have a partner that they can show off, and when they finally decide that they're going to commit to a partner, they show their partner off, and they're so proud of them, and they're super, like, they'll take their partner everywhere, and they'll post them on social media, and they'll be like, this is my partner and I love them. And they're also going to present themselves into partnerships like royalty. I mean, Aquarius will be so good to their partner because they want to be that person that treats their partner well. Like, they see value in having a reputation of being a person who treats their partner well, whether it's a business relationship or a romantic relationship. If it's a business relationship, they're gonna be there on time every single time, and they're gonna go above and beyond to be that excellent business partner. And the same thing will happen in romantic relationships. They will get you flowers, they will not cheat on you, they will be a great partner. Vibing high. Of course, if a relationship is vibing low, I mean, you might see the not great side of Aquarius, and everybody's going to be like, this Aquarius did this to me. But if Aquarius is truly happy and they're still proud of the relationship, they're going to present themselves and like the best partner, because that's going to give them the happiness that they need for their relationship. They have a deep curiosity, like a secret type of deep curiosity for structure and practice. So Aquarians are not known for being like the most attached to a routine, but they love to understand how that works. Like, they need to know how things work. They want to know how the processes go from A to B to C to Z, like all the way A, B, C, D, E, all, like they need to know every single step and how it works and trace it and understand it logically in order to be okay, in order to feel fine. Like, if they see something and they don't get how that works, that's going to bother them. And that's going to be turning around in their head until they understood how that works. And then they're going to leave it alone, and they're not going to care, and they're never going to see it again unless it's something that really interests them. But they're like, it's very easy for something to get their attention and to engulf their attention completely. Once they understand how it works, they can leave it and they can go somewhere else. But while they don't get how it works, their whole mind will be preoccupied with figuring out how that works. Like, if you were to tell them a riddle, they're gonna figure out that riddle. And if they can't figure out that riddle, they're not gonna sleep until they figure out the riddle. And they're gonna wait, or maybe they will sleep and they'll wake up at 3 a.m. and they'll be like, Eureka, I found out what it means. And then they're gonna sleep better. They really, really need to tune into their intuition to be successful. So just like in order to get their material stability, they get their material stability through understanding human behavior. They get really successful when they really believe in that. Because you can have like the Aquarians that really want to believe in science, and they'll be like, if it's not proven, then I can't believe it. But once Aquarians get over the needs to be scientific and they start trusting their intuition, which can't usually be proven, they unlock a whole new level. And once they start trusting their intuition and understanding that their thoughts are not always just thoughts, sometimes it's their intuition telling them something, and they listen to that, and then they take what their intuition said and they apply it at whatever project they're working on, that's magic. I mean, like, having an Aquarian who's listening to their intuition at the leadership position will take you so far. Really far. Since they have the Saturnian discipline, they're able to keep things in order for the plan to go along. You're going to get 2 types of Aquarians. You're going to get the Saturnian Aquarians and the Uranian Aquarians. Saturnian Aquarians are super strict. Uranian Aquarians are the ones who broke away and you never saw them again. Saturnian Aquarians are there every day at the same place, the same time, doing what they need to do. They're strict. They are less likely to be diverting from the norm, like they'll stay in the norm. And then when you get to the Uranian Aquarians, They're very innovative. They destroy the norm. They're like, I don't care if you've been doing this for 20 years. I'm not doing it because it's not perfect or it's not working. So they change structures. They help things evolve. They have the ideas that make things better. Remember that the energy of Uranus is stealing the fire from the gods and bringing them to mankind, whether or not the gods like it. It's the energy of introducing electricity to humanity. It's the energy of the internet and everything that has an air motor, like our laptops, the new cars, anything that has a motor that's like a technology type of engine, like made out of air, that Aquarius rules over. And it's about evolution. Like, Aquarius is really thinking 100 years ahead of everyone else. They are the first ones to notice, like, new fashion modas, new fashion, like, tendencies. And if they like it, like, they'll be the first ones doing it. Maybe they even started doing whatever is now a tendency, and they didn't even know it was a tendency, but they made it a tendency because they're that ahead. They're the people that others follow. They're the leaders. They're the ones who broke away from the normal structure in order to bring better structure to humanity. And they just know, they understand so well human behavior. They know exactly what a person or a society needs. Yeah, not just a person, because like a person is individual. They know as scaling, like on a scale, they know what society needs in order to continue evolving, continue reproducing, and continue existing. Because they really don't keep it the same way. Like, whether or not things have been done, I said this, like, the same way for a long time, they don't care. They want to see it work well. It doesn't matter how long they've been doing it. It matters what's going to happen in the future. They don't look at the past. They're just looking at the future. That's why they're so good at not being attached, is because they never look at the past. They're always looking forward. Their subconscious knows to be productive, so they have no problem whenever they think something is worth committing to commit to that and making whatever they want to make happen. Their friends are super important. I'm going to say that a bunch because their friends are so important to them. And just understanding how people work and understanding that sometimes the way things have been done before are not the best way to do it, and that we have to break through structures to make things better and get new ideas in there. And sometimes the breaking point is like, that's a keyword. It's like, break away from it. They're the energy of thunder, like electricity energy. And that's super cool because they're wild, they're eccentric, they're bohemians that can see, like I said, 100 years before us. It's great. They're visionaries. And Aquarians bring what the people need in order to evolve. So keep your Aquarians close. If you have Aquarian friends, like, talk to them, and whenever you have ideas, just like talk to them about your ideas and see what they say, and they're always going to give you a different point of view about it, which is super interesting. And well, that's it. That's the Aquarius personality description from me for today. So have a great, fantastic day. Hug your Aquarian friends, or not, if they don't like to be hugged, who knows. But appreciate them for sure.